Welcome to Season 2 of Around the Reel with your host, Sassy Sam.
Asshole Aaron.
And I don't know what the hell they're going to call me this year, Chuck.
Buzzkill.
Buzzkill. Sociopath. Who knows? Tune in and find out.
You transcend, Charles. You know?
Oh, I like that. He made you sound really cool.
Yeah, you transcend.
You transcend.
He evolves.
Let's evolve into Season 2.
Booyah.
How many fucking airplanes can fly over your house when you're trying to do something? It's like 1944. Jesus Christ. Anyway, welcome to Around the Reel, everybody. The radio podcast. Hooah, 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 ooh, I shit my pants on that last hooah. Today we welcome Nicolas Mezzanatto. Nicolas is a screenwriter, poet, actor, director. You name it, he does it. Also, he does stand-up comedy. You gotta have balls to do that, and this guy does it. He's a very inspirational guy. We had a blast sitting back and talking with him, picking his brain on his work, how it all started, and where he's trying to go. Not only that, he's a veteran. He's done a lot of great things for this country and sacrificed a shitload to be in the position he's in. I got much respect for this guy. The screenwriting that he's done was picked up by studios. Lionsgate in particular grabbed one of them. Another movie that he wrote also stars motherfucking Bruce Willis. Goddamn John McClane is in his film. That's what this guy has done. So let's sit back and relax, and I hope you all get something out of this show and realize that your dreams can come true. And with a little bit of competence and confidence, you can go a long way. Take a listen to Nicolas Mezzanatto here on Around the Reel.
Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hanna. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Yeah, got it.
Oh, yeah. The meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, you gotta verify that's okay.
Oh, don't yawn. That's contagious.
If you guys really want to be gross, you know, when I was seeing the doctor
No,
when I was sick,
no,
I
no,
actually
no,
have
no, no,
pictures
no.
and videos from the experiences I had in the bathroom. If
Charles,
you wanna
can you
be
please stop?
Gross.
He's
Charles.
talking about his C. diff again.
Well,
You
you guys
please.
started it.
Hey.
Well, no, we were talking about, doing the rotation.
Yeah, one
From the
at a time.
taco pizza.
But whoever starts is definitely in the best position.
Yeah, I'm going first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron already called it.
Yeah, if you guys are following.
The guy furthest from the door says he's going
I'm
first.
fucking around.
Yeah.
No, I'm dropping the deuce first.
He's going under. He's going under the table.
You just stick his butt out the window and let it blow.
I'm not even going to open the fucking window when I go in there or turn the fan on.
I just meant the window next to
He
you.
meant
that
the
one.
window.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I thought the man in the bathroom.
Got my little, what is that? My little, not buffet, my little brunch
Yeah.
table
Yeah.
out there.
Ooh.
It needs to be power washed anyways. If you're going to blow, now'd be the time to do it.
Can
You
you
know-
put some brunch on it for after?
There's nothing better than starting the show off talking about shit.
Yeah.
We always do.
Well,
Every time.
we either talk about or talk it. So while we're talking it, might as well just make it shit.
That's,
Sure.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
Well, welcome to Around the Reel, everybody.
Yeah, with our guest, Poop.
And special guest.
Brought to you by the color brown.
That's right. Ding, ding, ding.
And the letter P.
Good stuff. Nicholas,
Yeah.
how you doing, my man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
So glad you made it up here.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yes. Let's see. What was I going to say? I had something good I wanted to
I
talk
don't
to you
know.
about. There's so many things I want to talk to you about, but
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start.
Let's talk about them all.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
It would be good.
I'm
to
a
do
Taurus.
that. You're a tourist. Yeah.
Oh, so it's getting to shut up
did you
is the trick.
I'm a Taurus.
Okay, I didn't know if you said tourist or
No,
tourist.
Taurus. He's a
Like-
Taurus.
Tourist.
The bull astrological sign.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Big bad bull.
290 pounds, if that's what you're wondering. 5'11" and a half. I'm 5'11" and a half. I was 6'1.5" before I went to Iraq.
And then
I'm serious.
it
Are
really
you
shrunk
really?
when you went
You're
over.
serious?
I'm 5'11" and a half, but I tell everybody I'm 6 foot because 5'11" is not a height.
Right. Yeah. Wait, how did that happen? What happened?
Just
Did you go-
carrying around
gear.
150 pounds worth of
Crazy.
gear all the
No
time,
shit.
and just getting blown up, and my back looks like a back roads map to Georgia. It's just completely messed up.
Bob's Road.
Man.
Yeah.
Dude, you know,
I'm a big boy.
I would have went really small. I would have shrunk. I would have been
Yeah.
hiding. That's how small I'd have been, like fucking Ant-Man.
Dimensional small.
You know what I mean?
Let's not talk about your.
Well, I'm not going to talk about. Let's transition into penis size now, Sam.
No, that's not what I was.
Dude, I'm half
talking
white. I
about.
told you about that. Oh, what? What? I try hard.
Oh, man.
Man alive. All right, Nicholas.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, though.
Yeah, of course.
And
So,
thanks for being a hero. Thank you for your service.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course. Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah,
And more importantly, thanks for making the damn drive up here.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
no
a beautiful
kidding.
drive.
That's not more important than the other thing.
No, it's not, but
Oh,
it is
okay.
most
You said
current.
more important.
It's a huge
You said
deal.
more importantly.
He has a full car. And last night, they were all drunk. That's amazing they got it here alive. So,
Yeah.
Nicholas, you were driving.
I was
Thank
driving,
you for your service.
I was sober, and I had 3 Tasmanian devils in my car. We kept stopping at places, and they're like, "Let's get a couple of drinks." And I'm like, okay.
Is that me?
You're
That's
welcome
me.
to.
You're lucky I wasn't in your car.
Yeah.
So you came from
Yeah,
what?
that was great.
Bend, Oregon?
Bend, Oregon. Yeah, that's where Cody and I are based out of.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's no joke. So if some people in the audience don't know who you are and what you do, well, how would you describe what you do and who you are?
Well, I do a lot of stuff.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
A lot of things. I eat food.
Good. That's good. Mm-hmm.
You poop. We
I
established
poop
that.
after that. Yeah, all kinds of creative stuff. You know, I write movies, I direct movies, I act in art sketch comedy,
You write poetry, am I right?
write poetry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a singer. I play, but I can't sing in English. I only sing in Portuguese, French, and Spanish.
What?
No shit.
So check us out, right? So I, for 2.5 years, did ayahuasca. You know what ayahuasca is? You know
It's
what
a drug,
ayahuasca is?
right? Or
It's-
some kind of.
They don't like to call it a
They don't
drug,
like
but
drugs.
it's the strongest hallucinogen in
Thank
the
you.
history of time.
Oh,
so yes,
okay,
it's a
okay.
drug.
Okay, got it.
But I did ayahuasca in ceremonial settings. 2.5 years I did it at least 2 times, maybe 3 times a month.
Okay.
And it was through a lineage that they had their healing hymns in Portuguese and Spanish. And so just hearing that over and over and over again and singing them over and over again, I have like 120 Portuguese hymns that I can sing and play on
No
the guitar.
shit. Sing
fucking
one.
crazy.
But
Sing
I
one.
don't.
I want to hear. I want to hear.
It's just
He's got to hit the ayahuasca.
he wakes up
Part
and it
of
just
one.
comes out. It's not something he plans.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
No,
and then
that's
Spanish
cool.
and Sanskrit. But I can't. So part of my brain injury, I got a really heavy brain injury. I got blown up a lot.
Okay.
And I can't read. I can't read prose, but I can read screenplay format. Like I can read
kidding.
as long as it's short, right? As long as the descriptions aren't too long. So if I read,
don't read one of Aaron's then.
I won't, it's too long.
Yeah. Oh,
what
yeah.
the fuck is that?
The truth.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
287-page
Oh,
screenplay.
eat a dick. That's not that. Like,
450
3.5 hour
pages.
movie.
oh, fuck off.
I'm
7-hour movie.
I'm so sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah,
No,
continue. That's fine.
Yeah,
Don't listen to
I
them.
can't read. I can write, but I can't really edit my own stuff.
Okay.
So obviously, I write screenplays.
Yeah.
But I'm not very good at rehashing them. I'm good at getting the ideas out and getting into it. But once I get too far into the screenplay, I have to have somebody else look at it and then talk me through the rewrites.
Okay. So
Because it's a spatial awareness thing.
gotcha.
you know?
So that brings me to asking you about the screenplay then. So what and how did you find out that was the way you could actually write? How did that happen?
So while I was in the military, I wrote a screenplay about being in the military, about us, where we were. And so I was in southern Baghdad in a place called the Triangle of Death. There was a book written about it called Black Hearts by Jim Frederick. He was he's since passed away, but he did the book, and he was the New York Times editor, and he was so blown away by the story that happened there. It was just insane. They deemed it the worst area of Iraq at the worst possible time of the war. And so we had kind of Vietnam-style casualties on a small scale, as in the amount of people that passed. A lot of the guys that didn't make it was higher than other areas of Iraq at certain times. And it was It was pretty bad. So I wrote that screenplay while I was there. I made it home, and I decided that I just wanted to do something really. Since so many of my buddies didn't make it back, I wanted to do something with my life that was not boring.
Sure.
Right? Like I wanted to be like, okay, well, I'll live my life in honor of them. And so I figured making movies is one of the most impossible things that you can do, as you know.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
hard.
Aaron knows that well.
It's tough.
It's
and the attrition rate is worse than, SEAL school and bus rate.
Right?
Dropping like fucking flies.
For a different reason. though.
Right, exactly.
So I was trying to get it made, and no one wanted to buy a screenplay back then. That was kind of like the Valley of Elah time. I got out in 2008 or so.
Yeah.
I was at the Ranger Training Battalion in Florida when I got out, 2008 time frame. And they just said, hey, this is good writing, but we can't make this right now. It's too fresh in everybody's mind. Like, no one wants to go see a movie about their son or daughter. They're going through that right now.
Oh wow, yeah, that makes sense.
So I was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. So I just I wrote a short film, and it was called Verdict, and it went to the GI Film Festival in Washington D.C., and it was financed by my former commander. He's out now, Jeff Preston. Okay. And he was my platoon commander, and then he since on went to do a bunch of things in the military, and he's out. I think he's in New York somewhere. Did that and met some producers there that said, "Hey, you're awesome. I can't believe you're here. You guys are so happy and funny and awesome. Make a feature, and put an alien in it." And so I was like, "What? Okay." So I went out and did that. Went out and wrote a screenplay called Blackjacks that we raised the money for, shot, and had in the can. And then we came back to him and said, "Hey, we did it." And they kind of patronizingly were like, "Yeah, go do a feature." Yeah. And we came back with a feature, and they're like, "What? Are you kidding?" And so that film got sold to Lionsgate, the first film I ever directed and wrote. Right on. And it got changed the name to Seal Patrol, which is a horrendous name.
That's horrible. Mm-hmm. That would offend like SEALs. Yeah,
there's no Navy SEALs in the movies. I think that name would even offend real SEALs in the ocean. Right?
Yeah, that's
right? And so
I'm
a vet, and I got to go talk to my Navy SEAL friends. They're like, "Why is it called Seal Patrol?"
Oh,
and I'm like, "Well, because some dudes at Lionsgate in a boardroom were like, what's hot right now?" And I think it was because Lone Survivor had just come out, and they're like, "Oh, Navy SEALs are great right now," and they're making the movies. That's a huge company, and they do amazing work.
Yeah, Lionsgate's badass.
Yeah. But did that, and then after that, the guy Brett Donahue who produced, I'll call it Blackjacks, but Seal Patrol. He was directing a movie, and I had written a screenplay called Acts of Violence, and he was directing and needed a script, and I said, "Oh yeah, I got one." So I gave it to him, and he ran with it. He cast Bruce Willis in the movie, and Mike Epps, and Cole Hauser, and all these like serious heavy hitters, and it was just mind blowing that. But that's Brett. Like, Brett does exactly what you think that he can't do, or like he takes it as a challenge. Like, "Oh, you think I can't do this?" Like, absolutely. And then I think at some point he's going to run out of challenges. He's going to be like, "Oh, you can't get to Jupiter in this lifetime." He'll be like, he's in his garage. Yeah. I'm getting to Jupiter. Yeah. Brett Donahue's an amazing person. And then, after that, I've always painted, so I paint, kind of large canvas style paintings, and that was one way that I processed a lot of the trauma of war was through that, and of course singing and the ayahuasca world and yoga. Yoga's a big, not like the bendy stretchy yoga, but like the deep meditation, trying to figure out the mysteries of the universe stuff. Sure. What else? I do
poetry.
And then comedy. Yeah, poetry.
I want to hear about that.
I wrote poetry while I was there, but a lot of, the hard thing about therapies is, I'm not downing regular Western talking therapy, but it's just not for me. Yeah. I like to express myself in a more abstract form, so it could be anything, whether it's music or comedy even, we have a sketch comedy channel called Nick and Friends, where we do just the most insane, ridiculous stuff. It's kind of like Key and Peele, but like Mountain Man.
And they're
It's so
fucking,
funny.
they're fucking amazing. They're fucking
Freaking
amazing.
funny.
But then people like they're always kind of confused. At like, okay, so you write poetry and sing in Portuguese, but you also dress up in a bunny suit
With a bunch of hot
and
chicks.
dig a baby out of the ground, right?
I
Like,
know, it's
what?
awesome.
This makes no sense. And I was like, well, I think in modern times, we're way too obsessed with what we are, like as an identity. Like, oh, I'm a director, I'm a writer, I'm a doctor, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm a this, I'm a that, and I'm a nothing, right? Like I take shits, but I'm not a shitter,
Exactly. That's
right? Like no one's like, hi, this is Nicolas Aaron Mezzanatto. He's a shitter.
he's a shitter. Very nice
Like,
to meet you,
well,
shitter.
we all are.
Yeah, right.
But
I think it makes all the sense in the world.
It does.
I really do, because you're creative, and that's what creative
Yeah.
people do, is they do things.
And I
Creative
think
things.
also in the creative world, people tie success to being creative or expression too much, because what our idea of success is changes every week. You know, like you got to have the right body, you got to have the this, you have to have the that, and once you have that, like then you're going to be happy, right? Like I'm happy every day because I choose to be happy,
That's
whether
all
or
it
not
is.
something's successful or not.
Correct.
In quotation marks, right?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Because you can't control. I remember I was at a premiere and this really nice woman came up to me that I knew for years. And this is when the Bruce Willis movie was coming out. And she said, well, hey, how you feeling about it? And I said, oh, I'm great. And she's like, well, I really hope that's successful. And I was like, yeah, if it's successful, that'll be great. And if it's a complete bomb, that'll be great too. And she looked at me like I killed her dog.
She couldn't get
And
it.
she's like,
didn't get it.
what? And I was like, well, I wrote the movie. I didn't direct it. I'm not promoting it. Do I have any outcome with whether this thing is successful or not? And she's like, well, I guess not. It's like, then why would I put any emotional effort into whether it's successful or not? I've already did it. It's the expression alone. Whether it's successful or not, honestly, is none of my business. It's the audience's business.
That's exactly
like
right.
if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And both should be okay with people.
Right.
You know, especially in the world of art, because art is so subjective.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
And anytime there's taste involved, everybody's taste is completely unique and different.
Yep.
Totally.
You know, and there are fans of kind of general things, but like it depends on what you're doing. You know, if you like to write, then write. Don't worry about what it's going to become. Just write. You know, or you know, if you want to sing in the shower, sing. Go Christmas caroling in July.
Yeah,
like do
right.
whatever. I don't care. Just express yourself. 'cause if
Or
you
find a
look
good
at it-
tunnel somewhere.
Yeah.
A lot of great points.
And after the show, we're going Christmas caroling. Just so you know.
Yeah.
You started it.
No, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Isn't it fascinating how finding that outlet for yourself it can happen, especially being creative? But I can relate to that quite a bit. And I've gone through nothing like what you've gone through, but I have gone through some shit. And the only thing I've found in my life that has balanced me out is this shit.
Yeah.
Is this podcast, our movies, our writing, stories, whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
Acting now, I love it. It's just
Yeah.
such a great feeling that you forget about everything else, maybe you don't forget about it. Maybe it just kind of heals it. It breaks all that shit up. It's
Yeah.
not all jumbled. And
Well, that's why I feel
a
about
mess.
humor. And that's why humor is so
That
big
too.
for Cody and I. And that's why we started Comedy in a Cause, was because we're friends with a lot of pretty big stand-up comedians.
Right.
And a lot of them I know from the film world. And with Comedy in a Cause, we raised money for this anti-veteran suicide organization called Save a Warrior.
Okay.
And they are amazing. It's like this 5-day intensive process where they take these guys that are ready to kill themselves. And it's the closest thing to magic I've ever seen. I went through their process, their 5-day process as a witness. You know, you get to go and be with these people. And it was amazing to watch these people that are not even making eye contact with each other, hugging for like 4 minutes straight at the end. They do these parts where they hug each other and we all hug each other and you take time and like it's breaking down all those barriers, those walls we put up because of our trauma.
Right.
Wow.
You know, and in the end, a lot of these, friends for life, it's really amazing. That's why we raise money for it is, that's important.
That is important.
That's
Fucking heavy,
super
dude.
important.
That's some heavy shit.
But also the laughter portion of it, like I feel like laughter shakes up trauma. It doesn't process it necessarily, but what it does is it if you can laugh at a demon or you can laugh at something that terrifies you, it takes its power away from you.
Right.
And that's why a lot of humor in the veteran world and like the ER workers world, the first responders, is so dark, is because they don't want that to have any power over them. So they want to laugh at it.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah. So we just want to make people laugh and cry. That's what we want to do.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Wow. It's heavy shit.
It's heavy, but it's also heartwarming.
It is beautiful.
It's really beautiful that people are out there trying to give these guys a way to deal with what they've been through. Because for the majority of us, that are here, we don't know what that's like.
No.
Yeah.
So
well, let me interrupt you really quick.
Go
So
for it.
this is one thing when I talk to people about my post-traumatic stress, because I was in the worst area of Iraq at the worst possible time. I've seen some horrendous stuff, right? And a lot of the guys that I went with that survived saw some horrendous stuff too. But when you're talking about trauma, there's extremes, but it's relative, right? So like every human being has, let's call it 1 to 100 in what they've experienced in their life, right? So my 100 may be different than your 100.
Right.
True.
But it's still relative, as in it's the worst thing you've possibly seen. So in your personal experience, if you've experienced trauma, it's not a dick measuring contest, what did you do? Alien raped my mom or something.
Yeah,
right? Like, how are you going to outdo that, right? Like, but an alien, how do you top that, right? Like,
I always say we all have our own personal hell.
It's relative.
Right?
It's very relative.
We all have
And
our
I think,
hell.
and one of the biggest things I can't stand in the world of trauma is when people start rating trauma as more intense or this or that. Because, I don't know what it's like to be a victim of human trafficking.
Sure.
Right.
There's no way that I can understand that. But what I can understand is what's my worst area of feeling vulnerable and used by someone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Multiply that by 6 million and you might have an inkling of what that might be like, having your freedom taken away, having your, all of that stuff. That's why I wrote the movie Acts of Violence about the human trafficking, because that's obviously a horrible, horrible bane on existence. And it's been going on since the beginning of time. Right. Like the idea of slavery of any kind,
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of the human trafficking that I've found out when I did my research is, it's not all sexual. A lot of it is, work. So people will steal people from other countries and buy a condominium and have them live there and steal their green cards and steal everything from them and have them go work and then bring all their money in. So it's forced labor, and that happens a lot in the U.S.
Wow.
I've never actually heard that.
Yeah. I didn't know that until I started researching for the movie.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the movie,
Yeah.
that was besides your skits. I mean, I remember waking up one morning and I didn't feel very good that day. And I just got on Facebook, and I don't know, we weren't friends at that time on there. So I don't know how I ran across your skit, but it was the one when you're talking with your grandma on the phone. And I shit my fucking pants. I started laughing so goddamn hard at that skit. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
And I ran out to Sam, and I'm like, Sam, you
ran
gotta
out.
watch this video.
Yeah, that one's pretty insane, because most people that know me that see it, they're like, what is this? Because I don't talk like that, right? That's the opposite of the way I talk.
Right.
And so they're watching it like, wow, Nicky's really losing it. He's losing it. He's lost his stuff. And then in the end, you're like, that's his grandma he's talking to? And you're like, oh. And then after that, you watch it again, and you're like, what is his grandma saying that's making him try to talk
off
what he's saying, right? Like, she must be really laying into him.
Right.
Like, what possibly? And then you just leave it open.
Dude,
yeah, we
it's
love that, man.
Beautiful skits. Those are so funny
The
and
Scorpion
so
one's
well
my
made.
favorite.
Yeah, you love the Scorpion
I
too.
freaking love the Scorpion.
The Scorpion one's so great.
What a distraction for the damage you did to the
damage
car.
to the car. Yeah, the whole thing was put together just to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, it's beautiful.
But the gay Scorpion is awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So after I watched some of your stuff, I'm like, oh, this guy's badass. And then I find out you write the screenplay, and I'm like, holy shit, he wrote a fucking movie.
Yeah.
And not only did he write a movie, but it's got Bruce Willis's name attached to it.
Sure.
And I was like, this motherfucker's badass, Sam.
Well,
and I couldn't help it. So I found that movie.
Wait till you see me shit.
I know. Oh, shit. Well, hopefully I still go first.
I don't really want to.
I'm really gonna do it. But thanks. I
Yeah,
appreciate
dude,
that.
it was awesome to see someone be able to accomplish what you have with their screenplay. Sam always wants me to do that same thing. I love writing.
Yeah.
Right? Aaron, why don't you just try to get these things sold? And I'm like, it's too fucking hard.
It's hard.
It's too fucking hard. I'd
really
rather
hard.
just make the movies myself.
And
Yeah.
You know what I
that's
mean?
too fucking hard.
It's hard, but
It's
you can
all
still
hard.
do it.
It's all hard.
You know what I mean? At least I have control over
Yeah.
the filmmaking process where I don't have, if I try to sell this, I could waste years of my life trying to sell something that no one ever buys.
the point-
and I'm just
well,
sitting there like,
I don't think that
And
would
that's the
happen.
reality.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, this man can write a story like no other. Like his stories it's unbelievable how well he can tell a story.
oh, thank you.
No,
I was gonna say,
it's-
she's talking
it's
about you,
actually-
Aaron.
It's,
I know.
it's
He's
actually
like-
true.
I know. I'm just making sure real
And
quick.
I do
Wait, hold
not, I do not compliment you often,
No,
but
not very much,
this
no.
is actually, I mean this wholeheartedly. Like you can write a story like crazy. So I just think, I don't think that putting it out there and I don't think you'll get turned down like you
don't
think
know.
you will. You can tell a story like a motherfucker. I'm
don't know.
sorry, but
I appreciate that.
I don't give you compliments really that much, but this one,
I'll take it. But it was what I was saying though, is it's really cool to see someone actually do it. And that's
Well,
what he was
yeah.
able to do
Yeah.
with the connections he had. And so when you get the screenplay, I'm talking about all the screenwriters out there right now. All the people
Sure.
that are just starting or thinking they could do it.
Yeah.
So you get this step. What's that feel like? Like, how did you feel when you're like, oh shit, I've got these big names, Cole Hauser's in it, and fucking God, and they're making the movie? Are you serious with my screenplay? I sold a screenplay? What was your initial feelings?
Nothing.
Nothing.
really?
Nothing.
Wow.
Really?
Because at that time, I had done so much yoga
Okay.
and so much meditation that I realized that there is literally nothing in this physical world that will satisfy the longing that you have inside of you, whatever that is, right? Like
Okay.
what people, it drives people to go to the bar. It drives people to become Charles Manson. It drives people to become Mother Teresa or Gandhi. It's the same human drive that we have.
Okay.
And we as human beings have this innate desire, and we don't know what that is. I guess you could call it the desire to be more, or to connect more, or to have more. You could call it greed. You could call it whatever. I mean, it's been called
I'm
a
with
million
you.
times.
Yeah.
But there is nothing that will satisfy that. And you can see it. I was watching the Comedy Store documentary, and I can't remember what his name was, Hispanic, I believe, comedian. And he had everything. He was hanging out with Bob Hope, and he was doing a lot of cocaine, and he had everything: women, success, money. There was nothing that he couldn't have.
Okay.
And at one point he shot a crossbow into John Travolta's hotel room door, 3 arrows, right? Watch the documentary.
Okay. Okay.
And then he died. I can't remember how he died. He committed suicide.
Okay.
And you're looking at a guy like that, and he literally accomplished everything that a human being can accomplish, and it wasn't enough for him.
Right.
And so we live with this idea that once we get to this place, then we'll be happy. And we have this like forward thinking.
We do.
As soon as I get this, I'll be happy. As soon as I get this new house, as soon as I move to this place, as soon as we get into counseling, as soon as. And when you live your life like that, I had written down this thought that I had is like, if you live every day as if it's your last, which sounds completely cliche.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the first person who's ever said that.
No, but I get it. Yep.
Because someday it will be.
Yeah.
And if you hitch your happiness to some happy day in the future, you might not be around to enjoy it, right? Like if you just live with this forward thinking, I'm a winner, I can do it, there's nothing that can stop me. Like I think there's a problem with that. Like the influencers of today, it's like telling people to live for the future, delay gratification, just grind, put your nose down and grind, and they just live their entire life seeking something that never satisfies them.
Right.
But doesn't that help with willpower and like getting people to try?
I think there's
to
a
do
balance
stuff.
that he's talking about. There's a line. You know what I mean?
Because if it stresses you out, it's not fun.
That's
right?
not
Well,
fun
that is
anymore.
true.
Like
That
what?
is true.
Why would you? And that's where in the yoga world, like I've realized it. I have the real, like, inkling of a glacier understanding that the future doesn't exist. The past doesn't exist, right? And the cliche, live in the present moment, like blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But that's literally all you have.
That's all you have.
That's all you have. And if you're not enjoying your life because you're chasing a dream, whatever that dream is, whether it's the dream to become a mass murderer or the dream to become Mother Teresa, it's the same stress.
Yeah.
Because you're not happy unless you accomplish this thing. And that's why I do so many different things, is because I just, I'm not trying to accomplish anything. I don't have any goals. I don't have, a 10-year plan. I want to do this in the world because I feel this is needed. Comedy and a cause is one of them, right? People need laughter right now. We just came out of a pandemic. And I have the ability to put these shows together, and Cody and I are just nice people.
Yeah.
And we're not dickheads, and the industry is full of dickheads. So we're like, okay, well, let's take these non-dickheads, me and Cody, and let's put these shows together and raise money for a good cause. So people come out, have a good time, laugh, But it's not like, I want to become,
Right.
the next whatever, I just want to do it. And because I like to enjoy the process of doing it.
That's what it's all about. It's the journey.
Yeah.
It's just living that in the moment
Yeah.
stuff. There was something I was doing yesterday. I can't remember what it was, but I was getting stressed out. I was getting fucking stressed.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and there's nothing I can do till next weekend
Right.
about it. So instead of sitting there worrying, I actually, in my brain, shifted it, and I just started watching TV.
Yeah.
I just really did.
Yeah.
And then I was fine.
Yeah.
And it just went away.
Yeah, because if you can't do anything until next week,
Why the fuck am I
why are
worried
you
about it?
suffering it today? And that's why we as human beings, we have this innate ability. We suffer mentally. We suffer physically. I know you suffer physically. I suffer physically.
Yeah, Chuck suffers physically.
But
a
the
lot.
physical suffering that we human beings have is so minuscule in comparison to the mental suffering.
Right, sure.
And the reason that we have mental suffering is because we have two incredible facilities as human beings, is memory and imagination. And memory is tied to the past, and imagination is tied to the future. Setting goals and having that kind of forward thinking. I mean, if you don't think about the future at all, you're not going to accomplish anything if you want to accomplish things. But to live there, like we were talking about, next week, and you're having a physiological reaction to where you're angry and you might hack off at somebody and yell. Why?
I don't know.
It's and that's what I'm saying. We're crazy.
Stupid. We're nuts.
Right?
We're
like
nuts.
and animals don't have that, right? You're not going to have a tiger that's like walking around like, is my 401k together?
Right.
Are my kids gluten free enough? He's like, no, I'll just eat some of these kids, right? Like,
like
they don't care. They're just running off of that. But then they don't have the ability. They're done in the evolutionary chain. We as human beings, like, what is a human? We know what a tiger is, but what's a human? What is a human being?
Still trying
you
to figure
can't
that out.
define it. You know why? Because being a human's a possibility. There's all kinds of humans. There's not all kinds of tigers. They're pretty fixed in their way. And we suffer our freedom. We don't know what to do. Right? Now we have these amazing capabilities, but we create our own suffering in our own brain. We'll be suffering something. We'll be having arguments with people that we haven't even talked to yet.
Oh, I know. All the
Right?
time.
All the time,
Yeah.
I
can't wait to
I used to
talk
do
to
that in my
motherfucker. I'm so
car.
pissed at him.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll think about, or a past conversation, like, in the shower, like, I should have said this. Yeah, that would have got him really good.
I do that all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
All the fucking time.
Yeah. And what are we? We're neurotic like that,
Yeah,
right?
man.
Like, and that's where the whole fear thing comes in. Fear. A lot of people say, well, how are you so brave? And it's like, it's not that I'm brave. It's just that I realize that fear doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. The feeling of fear exists, but fear itself doesn't exist because
it's nothing
it's worrying about what will happen in the future. And the future's not here yet. Fear when a tiger's coming after you, that's a different physiological response that I'm glad we have, because my 295-pound fat ass is getting up a tree because of that adrenaline that's pumping, right?
Right.
Or at least climbing on top of Cody to get up the tree.
Yeah.
Come here. Bye. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, Cody would appreciate that. Oh man, but yeah, we suffer mentally so much, and it's all, I'm going to say 99% of it is self-created.
Oh,
our
absolutely.
suffering. And we suffer mentally so much because even, there's another thing I was saying a long time ago that people argue with me with because they don't understand what I'm saying. I had said that pain is inevitable in life, but suffering is a choice. And people
argue that?
Oh, yeah. What? I wouldn't be anything without my suffering. If I hadn't gone through my suffering, and I'm like, no. The suffering is different.
Yeah.
The pain is either emotional or physical, but what you do with it in your head afterward is the suffering.
It's the suffering.
That's the suffering. And you don't have to suffer. I don't suffer. I don't. I can sit here in front of you and say, I do not suffer.
Beautiful.
And that's because I did a shit ton of yoga.
Yeah.
A ton of yoga. A ton of yoga and meditation. That's all. That's why.
So the yoga was able
But it wasn't finding it. It was just letting go of the garbage that was there. You know, like, and so realizing that it's not there.
The yoga.
No, it is the yoga. It's the yoga. I mean, the process of yoga, the technology of yoga.
It taught you how to let go, basically.
But there's nothing to let go of because it doesn't exist. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now we're gonna get into like the yoga, the Yoda talks, right? Like, let go, you must, right?
No,
like,
I totally.
And I don't mean to be like, because this is all like super woo-woo cliche areas we go in, and I'm a Iraq combat vet that used to get shot at, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's this dichotomy. When people hear me talk about it like this, they're like, what?
But it's
what are you saying?
It's kind of like Kane in Kung Fu, though. I mean,
right.
You know what I mean? It's some cool shit. He's a badass, but he was still cool.
Wandered the earth.
Yeah, he was still cool. You know, but it's amazing because, you know, when you said you got out and you saw all that horror over there.
Yeah.
And you felt like you wanted your life to mean something, do something. So then you do these things.
Yeah.
And then you get them done, but you don't feel that, you don't feel that oomph about it.
It has a shelf life, you know? I mean, but, but that's just the nature of human beings, you know, like, especially when you're talking about, like, talk to adrenaline seekers, right?
Oh, Jesus.
The problem with adrenaline seekers, and this is what I was, is a lot of them will fall into drugs. And the problem with adrenaline seeking is there's only so much that the human body and brain can handle before you die, right?
Yeah.
So that means that you're playing on a degree scale that has a ceiling, and it's called death. So
It's true. That's fucking true.
Yeah.
so if you're trying, and once again, it's that desire, you know, it's the desire to become a little bit more than you are, a little bit more than you are, a little bit more. And whether it's in a romantic relationship or you start a cult or you start a church or you start become an amazing performer or whatever it is that are the kind of cries of our heart, whatever we came into this world with.
Sure.
You always want more. Yeah. You know, that's just the nature. And even the people that say like, oh yeah, I'm totally satisfied. Like, nah, yeah. Sit around and sip some margaritas for a while on, you know, in Boco, you're going to get bored. You're going to want to do more. This is the nature of human beings. And whether that more is like, you know, staying, you know, like, oh, now what I want to do, I want to live in a cabin somewhere and chop my own wood, right? That's still desire.
Sure.
Right. It may not be to, you know, build an Enron and tear the United States economy apart, right? Like whatever it is that you desire, but it's still that desire. That desire never goes away, but I think it's good. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think that the realization that there's nothing that's going to satisfy that.
Right.
Because we as human beings,
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be excited for you. For that screenplay that you wrote that turned into a movie with fucking Bruce Willis in it.
Sure.
That's what I'm doing for you because that's fucking badass.
No, it's great. I mean, I look at it and I'm like, that's an awesome thing to do. But like, you know,
that's John McClane.
It is.
And something you fucking wrote.
Yeah.
You know, I don't give a shit how bad Bruce Willis is as an actor now, but it's still fucking John McClane.
But also,
damn. I would shit my pants if Bruce Willis
was one of my dichotomy of life, right? Like, because Hollywood is this like amazing thing that, you know, fame, celebrity, getting involved in all that stuff. There is this amazing side to it. But the other side,
I don't believe in any of that.
But the other side to it is it's a bunch of manufactured egotistical, crazy people that are being paid cajillions of dollars to play house in front of cameras.
Correct. But see, here's the thing for me. I don't like Hollywood.
To play house in front of cameras. Right? That's the other side. I mean, you can look at it like that. Right?
I know. That's exactly what I'm saying. Find grown-ups playing.
I'm scheduling time to get together with my friends and play make-believe. What are you
That's
talking
what
about?
we do.
That's what we do. That's what I do that too. I'm not downplaying it. What I'm saying is like when you have if you look at both, there's always two sides to every coin.
Sure.
Right. And when we take ourselves too seriously and we take what we're doing too seriously, then we get into this place where that can be threatened.
I know
you know,
what you're
like
saying.
I kind of was talking about the identity thing. We have this identity crisis as human beings right now, is that we want an identity. But the problem with identities is the minute you jump on to an identity and you make that a part of who you are, which is not you.
Yeah.
Right. Something outside of who you are and make it you. Right. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Those identities can be dangerous. So I'm an Iraq combat veteran, right? And I watched my friends die. I watched a lot of innocent Iraqis die. I watched children burn. It just insane, right?
Okay.
Insanity, what I've kind of been exposed to. There's people who have been exposed to way worse, right? But it's a lot.
It's a lot.
If someone in the United States burns an American flag, what am I supposed to do if I'm there?
Good question.
I'm supposed to go and beat that person's ass, right? Because
that
I
what-
fought for that.
Because you fought for
Yeah.
the right to them to even be under that flag.
Even if I go to jail for 20 years for killing this person who was bearing the flag and don't get to spend any time with my kids for 20 years, people would be like, yeah,
He's a hero.
Yeah.
he won. Take it. To win, on one hand, yes, did I fight for that flag? Yes, but I fought for the idea of that flag of freedom.
Yeah.
I didn't fight for that specific piece of cloth that person is burning right now.
Correct.
Right.
It's symbolism. It's symbol-minded people
that's
don't
what,
get
and
that.
that's
though.
what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Like, am I patriotic? You're fucking goddamn right I'm patriotic.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go beat someone's ass who's burning an American flag.
Yeah.
That person's doing what he or she thinks is right in that period of time, and that is also assault. What I'm doing.
Correct.
But we have this like macho idea that, you know, oh, you're going to mess, but it's not. It's
America.
On one
Fuck
hand,
yeah.
on one hand, it's the most amazing thing in the world. And then on the other hand, it's playing house in front of cameras for millions of dollars and screaming at people for no reason. Right. Like it's not a battlefield, right? Like we're playing house, but those stories are amazing. And the art, the expression is amazing. That's what I mean. It's like looking at both sides of the coin and everything that you do makes it easier when you go in. Cause a lot of people that I know that have become successful from nothing, which I did, right? Mm-hmm. I was poor when I grew up. My parents divorced pretty early on and we didn't have anything. And I went from that to the place I am now, whatever you want to call that. It's, you know, success or whatever. But what does it really mean? You know, what does it mean? Does it mean that I've arrived at something, or do I have like a better understanding of something in life than other people do? Right. Like it gets in this wishy-washy world because you're hunting this thing and you're thinking that when you arrive, but there's no arrival. All you have is the present moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily completely agree with that. I have a wrench to throw at you because this is for me personally.
Throw the wrenches.
I'm going to
I
throw a
love
wrench at you.
Throw a wrench.
So for me personally, I've always had a sense of fulfillment with who I am and what I do. It's other people that get me, that make me question myself and question what I'm doing and question my happiness and, you know, things like that. Like it's other people's shitty attitude that comes into play. I'm happy. I'm fine. I'm content. But other people, and be it people that you don't need to, or you have a choice of having in your life or not, or people that you don't have a choice that are in your life. Mm-hmm. Either way, it's always those outside people that throw that in there. For me personally, if it were just me and I was by myself, I would be completely happy with who I am and where I'm at. So I don't know. I guess I don't know if I'm asking a question or just
Just
saying
had to get it out there.
Maybe I'm just saying it's different for me. But
Are you saying that you hate other people?
No, not at all.
People fuck shit up.
This is
I
really good.
fucking love people. I fucking love them.
But
They're
affect...
so opinionated and they're so harsh on other people, like with their opinions and their I think this and I think that and you should do this and not that. That
it complicates things, doesn't it?
It fucking complicates shit.
Because I could be by myself too and be happy as fuck. So you start getting too many people around.
Yeah.
And then they start yapping.
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with the identity thing that we were talking about, or like grabbing onto something or hoping for something in the future that may or may not satisfy you.
Well, I guess I was referring to the where you said, you know, you're never, you know, people, us as people, we're never satisfied. You know, like we keep, you know, trying. Well, I was disagreeing with that, saying I am totally satisfied with where, my life and everything.
Well,
but
good.
other people make me question that.
Question,
They're the ones
should you
who,
be satisfied?
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
question,
at
should I?
the end,
Okay, I
at the
got
end of
it.
the day, I mean,
got it.
should it be other people's opinions of you that has any effect on your satisfaction, or is it?
I would
you?
say it would be great if it didn't, but
Well, who's that up to though?
Yeah.
That's up to you.
That's up to you, baby.
Are we going to have another episode? Hang on.
Aaron, go fuck yourself.
Before this goes deeper,
it's not
Sam,
just me.
I mean, I'm
Very
not.
good,
I'm
just
not
in case
picking
this
on you.
gets
I'm
too
not
deep
picking
on
on
you.
you. I'm not picking on you. I mean,
Season
like,
2 with
No, I
people-
don't.
our new brand sponsor, Kleenex.
I don't feel picked on at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I feel like it's good conversation because that's
Yeah.
just a different kind of twist on it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel personally, is that it's other people and not myself that is, making me feel unsatisfied.
Well, is there a satisfaction button that's on the outside of you that someone can push and ruin the inside satisfaction?
Wait a minute, this is going to get really weird really
have-
fast. Can we push some buttons
Is there,
and see
is
what
there a
makes her giggle?
satisfaction button?
I am
Because a lot of
sorry,
people
Sam,
say this
you're
with
you're
anger.
going deep.
A lot of people say this with anger too, and I see
That
it with people.
people
because
push buttons?
Well, Aaron made me angry. Like no
Yeah.
one makes you angry.
Right.
You choose to become angry. They acted as the catalyst, but the only thing you can't control what other people do. The only thing that you can control is how you are on the inside.
Right,
Your,
I can
your
own
body,
that.
mind, emotions. That's all you got.
I can
That's all you have
definitely own
access to, unless you're somehow psychic or you can control other people
No,
with
I-
some weird
I can do it.
Jedi mind tricks.
I've been told that before. That I
Aaron
can
can
do
piss
that.
off. Aaron can piss off the Pope. I mean,
Right.
he's just got a gift.
Yeah, I got
But
to
that's
get
the thing is like we choose to become angry. But the thing is, it's very hard to, because we've been hearing that forever. I know. We've been hearing, money doesn't matter forever, right? But we're all hunting money, right?
Oh,
We've
yeah.
been talking about, live in the present moment because, and live every day as if it's your last because you might not have tomorrow. That's not new.
Right.
This is old stuff. It's just that we forget it. We're not living in it. Because we're not living life. We're living in our heads.
Right.
We're living in a version of what we want life to be through the prism of our thoughts and emotions. Mm-hmm. And it's, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying.
Well, let me add that
let's be honest with ourselves.
You're right. It is me, letting
Yeah.
people get to me. However, yes, it is my choice. I allow people to because I love people.
Yeah.
And I think that their opinions are important.
Yeah.
But there's a level of balancing that to where, I don't have to let it get to me, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no
That's the
yeah.
yoga thing that
That's-
helped him
But
That's
there's
figure
my
that
also,
out.
that's my
but also
struggle.
there's different ways to do that. You could say, well, I appreciate your opinion, or you could say, go fuck yourself, right?
Yep.
Those are two different ways, and you'll have a different reaction based on people.
I always choose the latter.
Yeah.
How often
I
do
do.
I
I
tell you to
fucking
go
do.
fuck yourself, Aaron?
All the time you do. Yeah, you say it to me just fine.
Yeah, I don't
It's
really.
those
waking up
it's
in the
those
morning,
others.
the birds are chirping.
Good morning, Sam. Go fight
Go
yourself.
fuck yourself, Aaron.
She does it, dude. That's real shit.
At least I do it nice, just like Nick did it. Hi, Aaron.
Just
Go
Oh my
fuck
gosh,
yourself.
you look so nice
Overtone.
today. Fuck off and leave me alone.
Yeah.
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 Whatever.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Hollywood thing, though.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking about that before, too. These guys are worried about me. If we get to a point of success and we end up dealing with suits.
Sure.
Because they think my
Well,
head's
no,
going to
it's not-
explode and get all big and all this shit.
My fear
Well,
is
because
not
I already
your
have this
ego.
confidence. Yeah, my ego is going to go.
No, my fear is not your ego.
What is it?
My fear is the idea of fame for you and falling from that fame a little.
Why?
I think it would crush you.
Why?
wow.
I've already had a lot you felt.
Because you've allowed that ego in your head
Shots,
to keep you floating.
shots
No,
fired.
see, that's the thing. That's
That's what
brutal
I'm.
with each other.
That's what. But that's what I'm afraid of is the fact that it's not his
Lose
ego.
some
or the fact that
goddamn
he's
weight,
gonna get-
Nikki. You're gonna get diabetes.
This is my team.
All
You know
right.
how you got a friend Cody?
Yeah.
That gets your back the way he does?
Oh, yeah.
God, I wish I had a friend
Wait,
like
you can't
that.
pop in insulting yourself.
You know what I mean?
I wasn't gonna shoot at any of you.
I mean, these guys, these two.
we're in a small room. I don't move very fast anymore.
and he's already blocking the door.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I'm sorry. Yes,
Sorry,
we
sorry,
have,
the
we
ego
have
thing.
made comments for
The ego
different
thing.
reasons.
Yeah,
as
you
to
guys
his
worry.
Fear,
You guys
fear of
worry.
fame.
You don't have the confidence in me that I can handle things.
I'm sorry.
You don't believe in me sometimes.
Fame?
And yet at the same time, they trust me and got on board with all this creativity we're doing. Because I was like, guys, I want to make movies. I want to do this and that. And I see it. And now they're on board. And now they're like, well, Aaron, we don't think you can handle this.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, wow.
It's not that I don't think you can handle it.
Wow.
It's that you need a balance you need more empathy.
I need more empathy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know
That's not my thing.
All
But
all of us need to work on certain areas.
Oh, sure,
Right?
yeah.
Everybody does. Everybody's got their thing.
Yes.
And I know what my
Yes.
things are. And I have been at a level where I thought I made it at one time and lost it all.
Yeah.
And it fucked me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did. Maybe that's what they're afraid of, but I did learn from that. Mm-hmm. But do they think I learned from that? Well, I haven't gained their trust there, I think.
No, I believe you can do it, Aaron. I just wonder about how you will handle it.
I'll explain it really quick. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks or
Well,
says.
we all know that.
Right, and that goes for people in Hollywood. I like Bruce Willis. I don't like Bruce Willis as a man. I like John McClane. That's what I'm excited about. You know, Bruce Willis is a fucking dick from what I hear.
John
He's an
McClane is a
asshole.
character.
That's what I'm in love with. That's
Yeah.
the Hollywood I like. The
That's-
characters,
Yeah.
the stories, not the real people doing it. Does that make sense?
It
Does that make sense at all? So when
I mean, it makes
I
sense, yeah.
see Bruce Willis, I don't see Bruce Willis. I say his name. But
Well, I mean,
I'm thinking Last Boy Scout.
I've never met the
thinking
guy.
that.
I mean, I've never met the guy.
You've never met
No,
him?
I wasn't on set.
Yeah.
It was a very
Okay.
short thing.
Short
they
shoot,
didn't
yeah.
want like the veteran that wrote the thing
Oh.
around.
Gotcha.
So that
Well, that's kinda
because
weird.
people would be like, let's talk to this guy. He
Gotcha.
actually lived through this stuff. That would have slowed down the production. Right?
Yeah.
Just
Probably
having
would have made the
conversations.
movie better.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I didn't think the movie was that bad. I don't know.
I
I
thought,
thought it
I've
was-
seen
I
better
thought it was
film on
decent.
teeth.
Stop it.
Now I'm trying to stand up for this fucking movie. Dude, Acts of Violence is not
I
that
am
bad. It's not that
joking.
bad.
Brett did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah. It's a pretty good. It's a pretty good.
It's a
movie.
decent movie,
Yeah,
and I
it's
enjoyed
good,
every
yeah.
second of it.
That's good. Yeah.
But then again,
I did.
but then again, that's not the best thing to say either, because Aaron and I can have admiration for anybody who takes the process, goes through everything, makes the movie,
That's
and gets
true.
it on screen. We will not usually badmouth. I mean, we'll giggle at things that just don't make sense or whatever,
Yeah, but overall, we
or pick
usually
things
that
apart.
just
But at the same
happened. I
time,
mean-
they did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
You did something
You
I
wrote
can't
something.
do.
Somebody made something from it, and you got some names in it, and it's amazing that all that could happen.
And
for
you got
So
paid,
that's
by the
awesome.
way. See what I mean? That's how you make a living doing your stuff. Now, the excitement level, I'm disappointed with. But I love that you don't give a shit.
Well, it's not
I
a matter
love
of the
that.
excitement, because the thing is like, I'm just excited for life, right? Like I'm just walk around this ball of excitement and creativity and happiness and just love, because I choose to be that.
Wait, are you grateful now because of where you were? Do you feel lucky to be here? That feeling.
I'm lucky to be a human being in the time that we are right now. Like we're living in a time where we have the most comfort and convenience that humans have ever had in the history of whatever. We're talking on magic balls, right?
Yeah.
And it's going out to the universe, right? If we had the ability in the Middle Ages, they would have burned us as witches.
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the ability to connect and to move and to, affect human consciousness is way stronger than it's ever been, but also just the ease of life, right? Like, I mean, think about before the Industrial Revolution, you spent most of your day trying to eat so that you could shit, right? Like most of your day. Now we can, go eat 70 Twinkies, like you could buy all the food you wanted for 5 years right now. That was never possible before.
Yeah.
So am I excited? Yeah, but I'm just excited to be alive.
I hear you.
Right? Is it exciting to be able to have that on my resume? I don't know. It's a double-edged sword, because people come to me and they expect a certain thing.
Okay.
They expect me to be the other side of that coin is like, oh, you need to be a this, and then they find out that I'm, I sing in Portuguese, and that's my favorite thing to do.
Right.
And play the guitar, and they're like, well, why aren't you writing any more movies? Like, well, I don't feel like writing any movies. Well, why aren't you? You should be writing right now. I was like, I just don't feel like writing. Yeah, but you have all these opportunities. These producers are beating down your door saying,
Yeah. Badass
hey,
stuff.
when are you gonna give us the next John Wick or whatever? Write this. You have the abilities. Like, just because, I could be really good at taking dumps in people's open sunroofs on
Oh, please do it. I have someone for you to do.
on 3rd Street downtown, right?
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I enjoy it,
No, I hear you.
right? Like,
Well,
I
I love
don't
that,
want to
though.
do it right now,
And
but people have this jealousy thing where it's like, I want what you have, right? Like, but no one will ever have what anyone else has.
Right.
And that's the problem, is we live in this world of comparison to where, like, if I had, if it was the Middle Ages and I had one cow and you had no cows, you'd be like, I want 2 cows.
I want 2
I don't have a cow, but I have
You'd be like,
daughters.
Check out Gucci friggin' Ahmed over there. He's got 7 cows.
You
right?
could
Like
trade
now I
those
want
for cows.
7, right? And it keeps going, and that's the whole problem with the
I get what you're
comparison
saying.
thing. You know,
Yeah.
like that's the hard part about when you talk about the excitement. I'm just excited to be alive. Like whether something happens great or it happens horrible, I want to be enjoying it every single day because put it this way. If you could choose to be happy or stressed out, what would you choose?
Well, since
think
I'm stressed
about
out all the time, I'll be
Stressed
happy. Yeah, happy. No, I'm usually happy all the time. I get stressed out.
That's what I mean is if we have that capacity as humans to do that, then let's figure out what's going on in the inside of us that's causing that because we're the ones that are causing it.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't matter what situation. I mean, look at like Dietrich Bonhoeffer and some of these dudes who lived through the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And all of their writing is no one can take away what's going on the inside of me.
Well, they stay true to themselves, and that's what you're talking
Yeah.
about. You're staying true
if
to yourself.
I want to be happy they couldn't control those circumstances, right? That's the opposite of control. But the only thing that they had is what their body, well, not even their body, but that's just their mind, their emotions, their state, their happiness, right? Like that's a gift that we have.
Yeah.
Is to be and to exist and to enjoy life, even if you're in pain.
Right.
You know, I'm in pain every day. Like my back is, right? Bad.
You want my ball?
But yeah, biggest ball I've ever
He
seen.
was jealous of that ball
Yeah.
when he said
But that's what I mean. It's like,
I got
you know,
it. I got you.
I'll tell you what though, the ball helps the back, but it's harmful on the balls. Just saying.
Balls on balls.
balls, bad on the balls.
Yeah.
Bad on balls.
Good on
I
back,
gotcha,
bad
sorry.
on balls. But my back doesn't hurt when we're done sitting here for hours on end.
Dude, I respect.
Enjoying our guests.
I totally respect what you're saying. I get that. I like the fact that you're staying true to yourself. And there's something cool about the fact that you're not like jumping for joy and talking shit about how, I wrote the movie. Bruce Willis is in it. You know, you're not being that guy.
Well,
I get
because
that.
I was never doing it to gain anything.
Yeah, I get it.
And I think that that's what we want in life is we think that we're going to accumulate. But like, once again, let's go back to the old adage.
Yeah.
Do we die with any of it?
No, we don't. It's not going to go with us.
It
Then
doesn't
why are we
matter.
living this life where we're wanting to accomplish and gain? Like so we can do what, right? If you want to do it, then do it.
That's all
but,
it is.
But it doesn't. It takes you doing the correct things, and this is what I was going to move on to when we were talking about the you're a winner, you can do it. Get in the grind. Is if success doesn't come from hard work, it comes from doing the right things. And we have this idea that like we need to get ourselves in this like motivated, almost anger state, you know, like we gotta do it or it's not gonna be, you gotta, how many hours you have in the day, right? Like come fly fishing with me.
Yeah.
Come fly fishing with me.
See how long that shit takes.
Yeah. Forever.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Am I in
you
the
don't get
grind?
anything half the
am
time.
Am I getting the grind? Am I getting the job done? Like, no, I enjoy it. So I do it. It's great. But the thing is we have too much. I think that if I had any advice for people that want to be successful in the world of film, music, acting, whatever, forget confidence. Forget it. Get it out of your vocabulary because we're teaching that right now. And what we have is a bunch of confident dumb fucks. Super confident. Zero competence. Zero clarity in what they're doing. Zero skills. And so if you want to be successful, the only thing that you really have control over is how competent you are at doing that.
What do you mean by competence?
So put it this way. Stand-up comics. This is Cody and I work with stand-up comics all the time.
Yep.
And we get a lot of confident stand-up comics that bomb on stage. Mm-hmm. They're hilarious human beings and they have a lot of confidence in other areas of their life. And they're like, I can do stand-up.
Okay.
And they get up there and they think they're funny and they bomb. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because they had a load of confidence and they had zero competence. They don't know how to write a joke. They didn't write jokes. They thought they could just get up there and talk and everybody would laugh. But if you look at the greats, they wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and
rewrote
refined and stood in front of the mirror and practiced it and looked stupid in front of their family, right?
Yep.
Like that's where that comes from.
Gotcha.
You know, and if you want to do something, you want to learn to write a screenplay, write screenplays, and then go to somebody who's going to tear your ass to pieces. Not your friends or family that are just going to be like, oh, this is great. Like, you know, go and learn how to do it. You know, don't just come out like, yeah, we got this great thing, you know, especially in the world of comedy.
Yeah.
You know, comedy comes from competence. Are you talking about stand-up comedy or writing comedy? You have to learn how to do that. And that should be your focus, because the only thing that you have control over is you. And once it's in there, once you figure it out how to write a joke, you know, how to write a scene or learn your scales on the guitar, right? Practicing them over and over and over again. Those are the things that are going to get you there.
Right.
Then the confidence is just a little cherry on top. But your confidence should come from your competence, not in this like
Backwards
charge the hill. I can do it. Doesn't matter. I don't care what the, you know, those are the people that lead people off cliffs.
Yeah.
Or those are the last custard stand people to where they could have won the war, but they led all these people into their deaths because they were so confident.
You know, and maybe that's interesting point you're making, because we've been talking about, you know, actors that we've met and things we see locally in the film business up here in the Seattle, Tacoma area. And it surprises me, you know, a lot of people are very talented. Most of them are. You know, they've got gifts to do this. But then I see certain choices they make sometimes that they may be putting out on the world. And I'm like, you know, I kind of know about this or this project that they may be doing. And I'm like, did they think about this before they jump on board?
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And not hating on anybody, but it's like, personally for me, if I was to be included in said project, I would be like, well, there's got a lot of work to be done before we get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got to figure this out a little bit better, right?
They want it now.
Yeah, they want it now.
And that's the whole.
And that's that confidence you're talking about, charging forward and not thinking.
Yeah. I would take clarity and competence over confidence any day.
Any day.
And I'm actually kind of turned off by confidence.
Because well, then you'll hate Sam.
Most people.
No, he'll love me. What are you talking about?
Most people, when they meet me, they're like, wow, you're a really confident person. I was like, I have zero confidence. There are things that I can do and things that I cannot do. I cannot read.
Right.
I can't read.
But I can write my ass off.
But I can write a screenplay. Right? I can write poetry. I can sing. I can do stand-up comedy. I can, you know, I can do those things. But there's things that I cannot do. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. I'm not going to be confident in the things that I cannot do. Now, if I took the time and worked on it and practiced every day, then I would allow myself to have confidence in that area. But until then, I mean, look at, and this is a new phenomenon. I think it's from the influencers and the, you know, go out and grind. But Steven Spielberg sat on Schindler's List for years. He bought it and sat on it. And when people ask him, why didn't he make it sooner? Is because he said he didn't have the competence to be able to do it. It was too much for him. Mm-hmm. But he knew he wanted to do it at some point. Mm-hmm. And so he was going to wait until he was ready to do that because he had the competence to do it, not just the confidence.
Right.
You know, and that in the Hollywood, the film world, the show business world, it's just a bunch of hot air.
Yeah.
If it's confidence without competence. And that's where, if someone is a complete cockbag to me, but they kill on stage, I'm like, okay. But if someone's a cockbag to me and they bomb, I'm never talking to them again. Right?
Okay,
because that just, you know, if they're really good at it and they're like, yeah, just watch what I do. Mm-hmm. And they get up there and they kill it. You're like, okay, yeah, I'll watch what you do. I'm not offended by that.
Right.
I have nothing to protect in me. Like, oh man, he talked to me that way.
Right.
You know, no. But if you're a fucking cockbag and you don't have any competence and you cannot continually execute the thing that you say that you're good at over and over and over again, like a carny at a show, you know, where they have the bottle and they're like, right? If you can't carny it up and you're talking all this smack and I'm going to, you know, we're going to do all this big stuff and, you know, there's nothing that can stop me. It's like, there's a lot of things that can stop you. Yeah. There's a lot, you know?
Yeah, there is. It's valuable, what you're saying. I think so. Yeah. Competence.
Yeah,
I've never thought of it that way. I like the word.
Think clear.
Yeah, I like the word he's using, guys, because it's relative. It could be helpful to a lot of folks out there.
Yeah. Well,
it should be.
I hope so.
Because confidence is something that I want to make sure we all have. But, we think things through quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we are still trying to figure shit out.
Yeah.
We don't know shit.
Yeah.
We don't know shit. But we're figuring it out.
Thank God for YouTube and Google.
Yeah, no shit, right? I mean, that's we
The college
fucking
of
figure
YouTube.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We figure it out, but
And practice.
and practice,
Practice,
just
practice,
keep working
practice.
it.
That's
Building your craft, man.
Yeah,
Figuring
because
it
it's
out.
going to be bad. I remember I was watching an Eagles documentary, and I can't remember one of the main singers was talking to an old school songwriter, and he's like, "Well, you should start writing your own songs." And he's like, "I tried, and they were bad." And he's like, "Yeah, they're going to be bad. That's how you learn how to
That's how you
write
learn.
songs."
Yeah.
And and it was a huge realization to him. He was like, "Oh, okay, so for the next 5 years, I'm going to keep writing songs and performing them, and they're going to be bad.
Right.
But after that, I'm going to have good songs, and they're going to be better, and they're going to get better and better and better." Nobody wants to make, like, a lot of people are like, "Well, how do you become a director?" It's like, you just direct something. That's how you become a director, right?
pretty much it,
And
yeah.
you just say,
Just
"I'm a
go for it.
director."
Yep.
But if you haven't directed anything, you're not a director. It's one of those things where it's like, once you do it, you are it, right?
Yep. Right.
And a lot of people are like, "Well, I'm a director." I'm like, okay, what have you directed? It's like, well, I've got a lot of these things in the mix, and, I got these, story outlines and everything like this. Well, you're not a director then.
Not yet. You're not there yet.
You're
right?
not that.
Yeah.
Once you do, like, get your phone, just practice, line up shots, figure out a shot list. If you're messing around in your house, like, do the things that you need to do as a director.
Correct.
Direct your cats. I don't care.
Or keep having kids so you can direct them.
Practice. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. It's a little bit child
That's
labor,
how
but at
you
least
do
it's
it.
fun.
So how did, before it gets too late in the show, how did
Sure.
you get into poetry? What's that about? Because Sam wanted to talk about that.
Poetry. So
Yeah, what's that
poetry,
do for you?
like, I love the old Welsh poets, William Butler Yeats and Dylan Thomas. And there's this piece in the realm of poetry that it's not necessarily about the words, but the word choices. It's in this kind of je ne sais quoi, like a little bit of nothing, like that little piece that you don't have words for because it doesn't exist in the world of words. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, William Butler Yeats had one. It was like, I will arise now and go, now and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin build there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have, and a hive for the honey bee, and live alive in the bee loud glade. Right? Like, so I'm talking right now.
Right.
But it's not talking.
Yeah.
When you're there, you're in this place where you're like, whoa, right? So it's not even about the words. It's about the way it's delivered. It's about the way it's there. And poetry is made to be recited. It's not made to be read, necessarily. I mean, you can read it, but when you say it out loud, it has a life of its own.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of you guys that way. I can't understand poetry like you guys can.
Well, you don't have to.
you
And
There's
that's
something
what I
about
mean.
what she kind of explains stuff like you're doing to me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can read it. And I'm like, oh no, that's badass. It rhymes and everything. Here you go. It's cool. You know what I mean? I don't hear it right.
Right.
And
Right.
then I have to have you guys break it down for me to go, oh shit,
Well,
that's
because
fucking
sometimes
dope.
there's a message within a message within a message. It's
could be that.
about I mean, it's not like he says. It's not really about the words like word for word.
Right.
It's about how the words flow and what it means as a
Yeah.
whole and what it means to you individually, or you individually.
It's crazy.
So it's different for everybody. Yeah.
It's multi-layered. It's like using
it's-
After Effects.
and
There's
that's
just
why-
layers for
But
days.
you should
It's-
try it. You should try it.
That's
Aaron.
what makes it
I mean,
beautiful.
like, just give it a whirl, because like one of the poems that I wrote that I really like, you don't even think it's a poem, but it's a poem. It says, creation exists because something's burning. It's only a matter of time before the fuel expires. Live in the fire.
See, you
That's
said
a poem.
Yeah, you just
I
said all
love
that.
it. I love it.
I'll
I
have
love
to
it.
sit down there and look at it
Right.
over and over again. Like, what did he
Yeah.
just say to me?
But the thing is that's just,
I gotta think
that's just
about
me
it.
expressing the way I want to live life, right? Like, we all know that fuel is going to extinguish at some point. We understand that we're here because something's burning. We know we have a limited amount
Right.
of time. But if we don't keep reminding ourselves of that, that's why I wrote the poem, right? Like,
see how
just
good
this
it is?
idea,
She does the
good,
same thing.
But good's so relative, right? There might be some other poet that's a poet laureate. It's like, that's not a poem. You can go fuck yourself. And I'm like, right, you can go fuck yourself. I don't care. It's just words. They're all made up.
Yeah, that's dope. though.
I loved it. It's great. I
like-
think it's great.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I respect the craft. I just don't. I just don't.
Have you tried it though?
Not really.
Just give it a whirl.
Yeah, just
I want you to write me a
just try
poem,
it.
man.
Just try it.
Roses red.
Done.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to rhyme.
Aaron is
No,
brown.
it doesn't. It doesn't.
You want to try that? It's amazing,
Oh, come
though.
on. You've read some of my poems. I met a girl. She met a guy. I never saw her anymore. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah,
badass, though. That's dope. It's just, but because it meant something. Like, for you, I read that. I was like, holy shit, that's hard. 4 lines in that fucking poem, and I heard the whole story.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you guys, I don't fucking know. I could try. Like Chuck said,
You
my
should
scripts
try.
are 1,000 pages, right, Chuck?
Well, that's just it. I mean, they're expressing themselves about all the things that they've experienced in their life. And you wrote, okay, let's back up. When you wrote the con,
Yeah.
3.5 hour movie. It's like going fishing. The story gets bigger.
It was a
each time.
150-page script. I
But
give
every
it that.
character in
But
that
no,
movie
but
was
is
what?
you from the last 10 years before that when you wrote it?
Yes, correct.
In your life.
And I didn't know that until after I
And-
saw the movie.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
That's poetry.
yeah. It's just different forms of
poetry.
writing.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They're just more eloquent.
But, yeah,
and
I get that.
Short and a lot shorter.
But I guess I'm like him. I can do it in script format. That's about it. I can't do it.
Which
That's
is
okay.
great. You can do it in script format, and Nick can read it.
Well, I
Because
can't-
it's in
yeah,
script
he-
format.
Yeah, he can read script
Yeah.
format. Yeah.
Pieces
That makes
of it,
sense.
for sure.
Man, there's so much. I could talk to you all day.
Yeah,
I,
literally.
we got
like,
a lot of.
Wait,
good-
we got a comedian on the show. We got to play at least a game.
We're gonna play a game.
Sure.
All right, Sam,
Should
we're
we
gonna
play
play
a
a
game?
game.
Okay,
Nick, let's
let's
play
play
a
a
game
game.
before we close it up.
Let's play a game.
It's one of Sam's favorite things. Shall we play
He
a
made a
game?
movie. He wrote a movie though that Bruce Willis is in, bro.
He did.
Yeah, Bruce
did.
Willis.
Way more exciting
not
than my
John
fucking
McClane.
game.
Bruce Willis. was
I
in
know
the movie.
Bruce Willis,
John
is in it, but he
McClane.
played John McClane.
Yeah.
That's my hero, John
Howdy,
McClane.
yeah.
Bruce Willis is not my hero. John McClane is though.
That's the other thing that Okay, before we jump into the game, the other thing, that fear of fame and everything. That's the Kevin Smith effect on you. Dealing
I
with
think
somebody.
that's what hurt
that-
Kevin Smith's feelings is
Yeah.
that to him he was John McClane. That was
Right.
his hero growing up.
Right.
Mine too.
Yeah.
And then you meet Bruce Willis and you're on the set with him and he's a fucking asshole. And Kevin Smith's like, dude, I love you.
But
man.
it
Why
might
are
be
you doing
different
that?"
people. So I'll give you, if you ever get the chance to talk to Brett Donahue, he directed him, and he said that he was
He was
an
good.
angel.
See,
He didn't have
It
any.
depends.
you never know, man.
He
Everybody
didn't have
has a-
any
everybody has a day.
problems with anything. It was quick. He didn't have it for very long, but he said he was incredibly gracious to everybody on set and was very nice. And so
See, you
sometimes
never know.
people are dickheads to certain people and not dickheads to other people.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And
You're
he's a couple things. He's older now.
No, Bruce Willis would love me.
When Kevin Smith was doing his thing, it was right after Demi. So who knows?
That's true. He
You
was
know.
going through some shit,
Yeah.
Think about you got to
Yeah.
think about life experiences.
especially after Striptease came out.
Honestly, you can't judge anybody by someone's opinion of them.
You know what? That's
really
a valid,
can't.
very valid point. I shouldn't do
can't.
that. I just try to hear all the people we've talked to that know or worked with people like Bruce Willis and stuff so far, and no one's had anything good to say. So that's good to know. Thank you, Nick. I still got hope.
So at least, I don't know. I don't know him, so
Okay, I don't either.
never mind.
Right now, I'm still your favorite bold actor.
I know
so.
John McClane. Yeah, you can be my John McClane. Chuck. Be no joke.
Oh,
Like Ash
God.
movie. All right, no, let's play a game.
All right.
All right, let's
All
do
right.
this. What are we gonna play, Sam?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Let's play Urban Dictionary game.
Urban Dictionary game.
We'll go old school.
Okay, I like old school.
Urban Dictionary game. Are
I've
you
never
ready for
played
this?
it. Yo, Mama, you want to play the Urban Dictionary game? Tell me the rules.
You know the Urban Dictionary, right?
Kind of. Yeah, I know of it.
Okay, that's
I don't
all you
know
have to know.
everything in it.
That's all you have to know
That
of
makes the answers
it.
better.
It's like-
if you know
Yeah.
the answer, it's boring. If you don't know
Okay.
the answer, this is more fun.
Oh,
It's like
good.
Urban Dictionary. That's like black poetry.
No, it's not.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
Oh, I'm
But
There's a lot of
anyway.
redneck shit in the Urban
Oh,
Dictionary.
yeah, that's true too. Okay.
So I just give you an Urban Dictionary term or word, and you just try to guess what it means.
Okay.
Like in the Urban Dictionary world. So, like, if I say something that we obviously all know what it means, it's probably not that. If
Okay.
it's in the Urban Dictionary. So
I
that's
gotcha, I
that's
gotcha.
Urban
It'll be something
Dictionary game.
different.
Okay, so you ready?
I have to make a quick request before we start the game.
What?
Aaron, stop dancing. You know the music we use during it. It's not fair. You'll be the only person dancing to the tune that
sorry.
you do the editing for. So he'd be bopping to the music,
Sorry.
and we'd all be sitting there like,
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, don't dance
yeah,
to
no
the music.
dancing.
I'll
Aaron.
work up.
He stole that face from my daughter.
I'll work on that in post.
She does it all the time.
We'll fix it in post.
Okay,
Okay.
It's fine.
All right,
All right, let's do it.
you go first. So,
Okay.
you
go.
ready?
All right. Hit me.
What is a snapper?
A vagina.
Great answer.
Absolutely. Agree.
Yeah, that's got to be right.
That's got to be.
That's got to be it.
If it's a red snapper, we know it's a bloody one. So it's a snapper.
Oh,
It's just
Well,
a
did you
vagina.
go
That's
there?
it. No,
That's all I got.
no,
Okay.
it's. I know. I got one. I got.
What?
It. That's
Okay,
one
what?
of those pussies that go whap, snap, snapping pussy.
okay.
You know,
Grabs it and snaps it.
Yeah,
and-
bops it,
Yeah.
breaks it, yeah, grabs it. You know. How about that?
Yeah.
That's a great answer too. So we're on the vagina thing. Chuck, followed up 3 in a row.
I mean, honestly, the vagina was it. I mean, that was it. That's why I came
well-
out with the red snapper would be a bloody vagina.
Aaron, you're a fucking cheater just because.
Was that right?
But
I got a point.
Because I remember
It is a vagina with a muscular wall for extra.
Dude,
like
I know that.
like a CrossFit, like a buff CrossFit.
Yeah, like
vagina.
a butt.
CrossFit one.
Like was like get in here, like
A vagina that does Kegels.
pre-workout on its own.
You know, guys, you should be doing Kegels.
Get in
too.
here.
It's
Yeah,
not
no,
just a
I'm-
woman thing.
yeah.
I've been doing them for the last
You
hour.
got to protect
Well-
that prostate.
Yeah. But if you do Kegels as a girl, you got a snapper.
Yeah, I get
Okay.
that. I love
All right.
snappers. Snappers are
What's the guy version of that then?
I don't know.
It's
Good question.
What would that be?
If females would be a
I don't
snapper.
know.
When a guy does a Kegel, I guess it would be a pogo stick. I don't know.
Pogo?
Because, you get strong.
That's
I
okay.
don't know.
Yeah, that could work. Pogo. Pogo. I love it. I didn't cheat, by the way. I heard that term before. Snapper. Someone said snapper.
That's
Snapper
cheating,
pussy.
yeah.
It was a stand-up comedian.
All right.
Since we got comedians on the show, I've been doing my research. All right. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. What's the next one? You got another
All
one?
right, guys.
I mean, we can end on pussy. That's fine. Good.
Sleeping.
Sleeping?
Just
Sleeping.
sleeping.
Okay.
Urban Dictionary version of sleeping.
Sleeping.
I got it. Okay.
You're first.
Sleeping. Like if you catch someone sleeping?
Just sleeping. What?
The term in
The
general.
term in general
What's the definition in the Urban
in the
Dictionary?
Urban
definition?
Dictionary.
The only thing I
of
can think of is when
sleeping.
like you're catching somebody sleeping means that they are not aware and you can like mug them. I don't know.
Good answer.
I don't
That's
like
not
Nick.
paying attention.
Nick's got my same
Right.
answer.
That's what I'm
That's a
thinking.
good answer.
He's got all my answers.
Good answer.
Sleeping is.
What do you think, Aaron?
I'm thinking that sleeping is just the opposite of snapper. It's a pussy, or it's a dick that won't wake up.
Oh, a whiskey dick?
Whiskey dick. Thank you. That's what it is. It just won't wake up. You know,
dick.
you can
Drunk dick.
slap it around and it's just flapping, but it's not. Hello. You know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Chuck, you're going to go first from now on because everyone
Yeah, I'm
always
stealing
steals
it.
your shit.
Yeah.
I know. I used to be creative. I don't know what happened. It's just like now everybody. I'm either boring or
When
something.
are you saying
Sleeper? No, sleeper is
Sleeping.
Sleeping. Sorry,
That's what scares me.
Sleeping.
It's my fault. Yeah, it's fine.
Sleeping. Somebody who. Sleeping is somebody who is living a life that they aren't supposed to be living.
Deep.
That's deep.
That is deep.
That is deep.
You know, this is a game show.
Very
It's supposed to be
deep
fun.
show.
That was poetic,
We
Chuck.
were talking poetry earlier.
That was
that's what
poetic.
you're
feeling
That was
moved.
very poetic. Well, this is the Urban Dictionary, so we're not very poetic. And sleeping is a gateway drug to being awake. That's how lame that is.
For fuck's sakes. Why do you give us some shit
lame
ones like that?
ones.
We try so hard.
I hate the drug ones.
And
They're
I
not
see-
creative.
Because you guys try so hard, and it's so stupid. The answer's so
Oh,
dumb.
man. I know. We put in work.
It's
Ga-
fun for
a
me.
gateway
It's
drug
super
to
fun
being
for me.
awake.
A gateway drug to being awake.
I get it. Yeah, it's
Super lame.
it's clever. Okay, we got one
If
more.
they weren't so expensive, I'd throw my mic down on the table and be like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, no, listen, that thing's super cool.
Had to throw one of those in there.
You
Come on,
always
it's
get us.
really fun for me.
It's fine. It's good. It's good. Okay, you got one more?
No.
That's it?
No?
Yeah,
That's our game for
I
today?
don't have
Two?
Oh, shit.
I can have one more. if
Give
you
me
guys
one
want
more.
to.
One more.
Or give us one more, some from another game.
Sam Dictionary.
One. Yeah, what's a Sam
Okay.
dictionary?
Sam Dictionary.
Don't
Sam
don't tell him
Dictionary.
asshole.
What is a term that Sam uses for Aaron that we're not aware of?
Oh my god. Oh, I got one.
Wait, what?
Stick.
Beef stick.
This is not an opportunity for you to sit there and come up with all these glorious names for yourself.
Oh, you think
Or
beef,
your-
you think
or
beef
your
stick is
stuff.
glorious?
Oh, here they go.
Beef stick?
Yes, that's what I said. Beef stick, and you're like,
Have
Guys.
you ever eaten a summer sausage or a beef stick?
No,
they're
I
not
don't.
tiny.
I don't.
Ooh,
do
have you
that.
ever eaten
They
one
are
of those
But has
sausages
but
from
has
the
the question is,
bar?
has Sam
That's in a
ever
big
had a beef stick?
Dang.
Sorry.
She gets a pepperoni stick. 7-Eleven pepperoni stick.
Slim Jim.
Yeah, Slim Jims.
Get snap
Does
into
she
it.
snap into it with her
Yeah.
snapper?
I
Yeah.
guess so.
Yeah, we'd be snapping. Doesn't take long at all. We don't fuck around. Right, Sam? We get it done.
Okay, Sam, you had something else. What you got?
Okay.
Okay, well,
One more.
So
Oh, no.
I don't have an Urban Dictionary, but I have a different game one.
Okay, give us one more.
Okay,
One
the
more.
riddles.
Oh, you
Raunchy riddle.
raunchy riddles?
They're raunchy? All right.
They're raunchy riddles.
Okay, so explain what a raunchy riddle is
A
first.
raunchy riddle is a riddle that's raunchy.
Yeah, but however, the answer
is probably something
Innocuous.
It should.
dumb.
Yeah, it's probably
It's dumb. It's like the last Urban Dictionary I did. It's dumb.
Okay, raunchy riddles. Okay,
Okay,
let's do
raunchy
one of
riddles.
those.
It wasn't dumb.
What's at least 6 inches long, goes in your mouth, and is more fun if it vibrates? Chuck, you're first this time.
My toothbrush.
That's my answer, fucker.
Okay, well, you're all really smart. That
Yeah, we were
wasn't
going to
fun.
get that. That's all
That
we knew.
Well, that was cheating.
It's not like I was going to say dildo.
Dilder.
Why would you put the dildo in your mouth? You shouldn't have to practice with that. And why would you turn it on if you're doing that?
Some
break
girls
a
practice.
tooth.
with
Okay,
it.
so that one sucked. Let me give you another
Sometimes
one.
they take their teeth out before.
The tooth.
Sorry.
I'm giving you another one because that
Okay.
one sucked.
Okay, got it.
Take
Over
their
1,000
teeth out.
people went down on me.
Oh,
How many?
1,000.
The
over
Titanic.
over. You know what?
was that it?
Yes.
Raunchy riddles. I guess that's the game.
All right.
What's
well.
this? What happened? I just totally missed it because I was trying to turn my head, so I was laughing.
He said 1,000 people
Yeah.
went down on me, and I said the Titanic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was the answer.
And you got it. So, yeah, we're good at this game.
What's the what was
Either that or I suck at picking them out.
No,
suck?
that'll do it.
what were the rest of the
We're just not as
questions?
raunchy as that.
Or what was
you
the
think
rest
we
of
are.
Oh, the rest of that was,
Yeah, it was the rest of
I wasn't a maiden for long, and something really big and hard ripped me open.
Yep, that's the Titanic, all right. They were clever, though. They tried hard.
They did, yeah.
They did. They really did. That's clever writing.
Okay, well, this one's really going to stump you guys.
Okay.
Oh,
Why are you covering your...
covering?
Because I don't want you
He
looking.
thinks I'm reading
I
it.
don't want you looking.
I can't see that far.
What is most rewarding when it's long and hard?
Division.
Division?
I'm a nerd.
Okay. It's a good answer.
What is most rewarding when it's long and hard?
Workday.
Okay.
Why'd you say it like that?
She's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I know, because I would never say that.
What's your...
Hard. It's long and hard. Most
I had a
rewarding.
long, hard work day, but it was very rewarding. Yeah, sure. Right.
Andre the Giant's wiener?
I don't know if that would be very rewarding.
I don't
Well,
know.
he
That
did
guy's
drink a lot, so he probably had the whiskey, you know.
Yeah, you probably had it. Yep.
In education.
Oh, an education.
Long
Yeah,
and
that's good.
hard
That
and
didn't
very
even come
rewarding.
in.
Told you I
I was
could
just
stump you
thinking about
guys.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you got us. Congrats.
Yeah,
This like very sorrowful congratulations. You got us. So I was just thinking.
Did you guys just grumble in unison?
Yeah, we all do it. I think we all kind of do.
Yeah, he hasn't heard.
That's rewarding for me.
That's awesome. Thank you, Sam, for the game.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I like that. That was enjoyable.
We're all still grumbling.
Yeah, Sam, it's good. Thank you, Sam.
So this is
The best day of my life.
I don't even golf anymore.
Speaking of the golf, how about that war?
Oh my god. What?
Horrible.
That wasn't
That was
mine.
the worst joke ever.
I
Like,
thought I
That
had
wasn't
bad
my
jokes.
one.
That was a good one, though.
Oh no, that was before you.
Yeah, got a good
bad
one.
jokes from Chuck.
Oh, man, Nicholas. Buddy, thank you for coming.
Of course.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
when's your show going to start and stuff,
So,
your comedy
if
stuff?
you want to follow Cody and I's freaking extravaganza, you can go
So
to
fun. Follow
to
it.
Comedy and a Cause. We're just getting the websites up,
Okay.
so there's no websites, but Comedy and a Cause on Facebook. You can catch it on Instagram. It's comedy and _a cause. We couldn't get comedy and a cause because I made one and then I don't know how to, like, it was a bad one.
Sure, I got it.
So we have the underscore there. Or Nick and Friends, IG. That's where we do all hilarious sketch comedy stuff.
Awesome stuff.
And yeah, mostly that. Just those deals. We got a couple of shows coming up in Bend, Oregon, but I don't want to say anything because a lot of them are still in negotiation. So
Sure.
but yeah,
Hush, hush. It's really important.
But these guys are ones to pay attention to. So keep your eye on these guys.
yeah,
and
thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you guys definitely have a great, charismatic, fun, energized
Yeah, you think
personalities. You guys are just fucking.
Wait till
crack
you
me
talk
up.
to Cody. You think you're laughing with me?
Oh, dude, we're gonna have a
That's all
blast.
we do.
Well, we had a blast.
Face
with
is
you.
gonna hurt.
Remind me now, since we are for our listening audience, we are doing these back to back. And how much did they drink last night?
Well, I didn't drink much.
No,
but
not you. I'm asking about Cody. He might be asleep
Cody,
downstairs.
he might be. Yeah,
Okay,
he and
Could
Max
be.
Keegan and my partner Emmy Rose, they tore one off.
They ain't
And
fuck around.
I was the designated driver, so I didn't drink till I got back. But I wasn't in the mood when I got
bet you
back.
if we
because
wake
I had
him
to
up
deal
with a
these
shot.
Tasmanian devils in my car.
From what I overheard, the conversation, it was 2 bottles of tequila
They
Yes.
fuck
plus
around.
multiple beers.
Yeah, they did it.
And every time
did
they
it.
burp, they taste lime. So
That's always good, though. That's
They put
fine.
in-
I'm good with that.
They put in work. They put in work.
Let's go wake Cody up with a shot of whiskey.
Yeah, we'll get him going.
Yeah, let's
some brown sugar
Hey,
bourbon.
buddy, just before you leave, though, I got to say, what you were able to accomplish in your life to this point
Sure.
is insane.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? What you've been through with serving is incredible. And getting what you've done now professionally with your writing, your directing, and your comedy is inspiring. I honestly can tell you. I'm so excited to see what you guys do, and I'm following your footsteps. We all are trying to keep up with people like you. So thank you, buddy, for what you're doing.
And
Seriously.
And not just your successes that you've had, but your mantra.
Yeah. Just
I
live
I
it.
mean, I was reading those this morning, going through, because honestly, I'm catching up with some of your stuff because you were going to be here, shit.
Yeah.
But no,
nice you
going through all those things, I've got this freaking tattoo on my arm for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's very similar to some of the things you're saying. So hearing somebody else say it also at the same time is just kind of reassuring. And that's the
Validating,
stuff.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love
Well,
that.
I think that all the things that you have to say, somebody can gain a lot from everything that you
I
have
hope
to
so.
say, because you're very wise and you've obviously been through some shit and have some advice that's
hope
good
so.
advice and good to share. So thank
He's
you.
he's not falling for all the hoopla about being
No.
a popular superstar.
No,
No.
you're a badass. Thank you for driving all the way over
Yeah,
here
you
and
guys
being
are
with
too.
us today.
Of course.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Appreciate
It's awesome.
Thank you, buddy. All right, Chuck, you want to close the show out, man?
Well, Nicholas, Nicky, but not Nick.
You can call me Nick.
I told him
I don't-
that. I told him not to call
yeah,
you Nick.
I
didn't want to offend you.
My day
Call me
started.
Hogo the Dolphin Boy if you want.
Oh,
the
shit.
Dolphin Boy. My day started with the first time ever of somebody telling me how to
Spell
meet
Mezzanatto?
how to meet or introduce myself to a guest. It's not Nick. It's Nicholas.
It's
I'm like-
not the first time.
and he jumps out of his car. He's like, "Hey, I'm Nicky." I'm like,
Oh no!
"Wait, you broke me."
He should have just ran.
I try
Or
to
stole
not
my
offend
car.
people.
And I appreciate the fact he didn't run me over when I was trying to shoot baskets. So that was nice. No,
Are you still trying to shoot when I left?
dude, I got like 8 in a row. When you
They were
left.
driving
Oh,
up.
what?
As soon as you were driving away, I was like,
He's so full of shit.
And then here he comes rolling down.
He
and
was mad 'cause I was shooting
I did the
good.
look back, and I was like, "Oh, look, they're here."
Oh, for fuck's
Shut your
sakes.
face
All right,
off.
close the show out, fucker. You're
Close
lying.
it. Close it.
I don't have to lie.
Yeah, we'll try it. We got to
Close
break
it.
between shows here.
I'm tired. My shoulder's a little sore.
oh,
Okay,
yeah.
well, think hard, everybody, because you're thinking anyway.
Nick, thank you so much for joining us today, buddy. Thank you for sharing your stories, your experiences, and everything else. I mean, like I said, the successes that you've had are wonderful, but your humbleness of how you look at life involving those is even better. So thank you for sharing that with us and all of our audience. And I am going to end this quickly and short and say, think hard, because you're thinking anyway.
See you guys all later.
Bye.
I was made for loving you, baby.
Are you freaking kidding me? Not
Dude,
again.
change the station.
Let's kiss.
Please.
Let's kiss
No, but we don't know.
It's not Kiss, it's Aaron.
Yeah.
Stop.
Who sings that again?
Tonight.
Kiss?
Yeah.
Let's leave it that way. Thanks.
Well, I thought this was a show about being creative. I was just being creative on the
That's
mic.
not being
Yeah,
creative.
that's
That's just
being annoying.
Well, maybe I'm trying too hard. Maybe it's a lot
yes.
simpler.
Aaron, remember, as all good broadcast people know, less is more.
So for radio, if I don't say anything, wouldn't that be kind of a buzzkill?
It would be a great freaking show.
That would give the rest of us a chance to say something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, then we'd hear something other than you.
Well, I thought around the reel we were going to just have a good time and talk with people.
We
You
do,
know?
but it's not about you, as we have talked about in the past. It's about our wonderful guests. And our wonderful guests can tune in and become a member of our show. How, Sam?
Well, if you want to be a guest on our show, you can go to our website, cccentertainmentgroup.com, and click on the link for guest scheduling for Around the Reel and come be our guest.
Yeah, and then I don't get to talk about myself anymore.
You talk about yourself anyway.
Yes.
Oh, now Chuck's saying.
Because he was made for loving me, baby. Wait,
What?
that's not all.
Oh, yeah,
is it?
that's you.
Yeah, that's weird.
No.
I sang that wrong.
Yeah,
Oops, sorry.
he was made for loving you, Aaron.
Just remember to keep tuning in.
And I wasn't.
Because next week, Who knows what's going to happen?
You never know.